So your knitting will look like this, or should look like this if you've done your homework. And there are 9 ridges, and you will have seen on the pattern that each ridge is 2 knit rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last ridge being on the needle where you've just knitted the last row. So now we'll start the mitered corner. So you slip the first stitch with the yarn at the back of the needle and knit 8 to the end of the row, or rather I should say till you've got 1 stitch left on the needle. Bring the yarn forward between the needles, slip the last stitch as if you were going to purl, put the yarn back round the needle and turn the work. Now on this second row, and it's the only row that you'll need to do this, when you start the second row, put your needle underneath the yarn before you slip the stitch. Slip the stitch, and that putting it underneath the needle just means that it's easier to put it back round between the needles to continue on. So then you're going to knit 9 to the end of the row. Turn the work, slip the first stitch again with the yarn at the back and knit 7. Bring the yarn forward between the needles, slip the next stitch, put the yarn back and turn the work. Slip that first stitch, put the yarn back between the needles and knit to the end of the row. Oops. Turn the work. Slip the first stitch and knit 6 on row 3. Bring the yarn forward, slip the next stitch, yarn back, turn the work. Slip that stitch, yarn back, knit to the end. Turn the work. Row 5, slip the first stitch, and knit 6. Bring the yarn forward, slip the stitch, yarn back and turn the work. And each row, on the odd rows, you're knitting 1 less stitch and putting a wrap around the stitch that you don't knit. So slip the first stitch and knit 5. Sorry, I've miscounted. Knit 4. Slip that next stitch, put the yarn back between the needles and turn the work. Slip that stitch and knit to the end of the row. And now you should be able to see the mitered corner beginning to take shape, the diagonal line, which is where you haven't, these stitches are the ones that have been wrapped and they haven't been knitted. Slip the first stitch and knit 3. Bring the yarn forward, slip the next stitch, yarn back and turn the work. Slip that stitch and knit to the end of the row. Turn the work. Knit 2, yarn forward, turn, and yarn back, turn the work. So, row 15, slip 1, knit 1, bring the yarn forward, slip the next stitch, yarn back, turn the work. And on row 17, which is the only row that you need to do this, you will knit the first stitch instead of slipping it, bring the yarn forward, slip the next stitch, put the yarn back and turn the work. Slip that stitch, put the yarn back and knit 1. And now you've got the first side of your mitered corner